Okay, hi everybody. Here we are. It's the early part of September, and we just had a pretty intense rain 2 days ago. And what I'm trying to do in my lawn is do what we call propagate zoysia grass. And the reason I like zoysia grass is a couple different reasons. Number one, it's very slow growing, so you're going to cut it about 1/3 the time that you do like regular what we call fescue grass here in the Northeast. So one of the downsides with zoysia, it's very expensive to get, is sod, which is the way to go. Your alternatives would be to seed the grass, which takes a long time. But there is another option. If you've already got zoysia in your lawn, there is a way to propagate it. There's something called a ProPlugger that we're going to look at using here in a little bit. But I just want to show. If we look at the lawn, you can see there are differences in the types of grass that are here. You can see like some patches are sticking up. Those are fescue patches, and the other patches that you see are what the zoysia grass is. And as I walk on zoysia, I can feel that it's got like a nice carpety feel versus, you know, when I get into the patches where there's just fescue, it's more like a rock solid feel to it. So one of the bad things about zoysia is it's kind of a little hard to start, but the way I'm going to show is I think the best way to do it. In the winter time here, once the temperatures start dropping below like about 45 degrees Fahrenheit, all these patches that you see will turn yellow. So to me, it's not a big deal because the winter time, you know, we generally, you know, are not outside. It's maybe covered with snow, so I'm okay with that. So let's take a look at you know, how I'm propagating the zoysia. So you can see you know, I've got patches where I've got zoysia, patches where I don't, and I've been doing this for some time now. And we've got areas here that I've already done. So let me show you what I've done here with these flags. I've gone to parts of the lawn and pulled out these plugs of grass, and you can kind of see them here. They're little round plugs that I pull about 15 or 20 of them out at a time, and then plug them in to different parts of the yard that don't have the zoysia growing. Now these are fresh ones that I just did like yesterday. Okay, so I've got groups of, you know, 10 or 15 or so. This group here is a group I did earlier this year, so you can see that they kind of grow in well. They're kind of hidden in the grass a little bit, so when you first do them, you can see them, you know, fairly well. But as time goes by, because other established grass grows higher, the zoysia plugs are harder to find. So that's kind of why I got these flags going on here to water them. Now, it did just rain last night and 2 days ago, but when I first put these plugs in, what I like to do is just give them that extra little soak just to get them going. All right, so here's I've got a part of the lawn here where I've got you know, nice long zoysia strip going on, and I've got my ProPlugger here set up in the lawn. And let's just take a peek on how I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to grab it by the handle and pull it out, and you can see down here it's got kind of a tapered wedge to it. It's hard to see, but this wedge along here is tapered a bit. These are stop depth limiters to control the depth of the plug that you pull out. So, and you can see that the first plug I pulled out leaves like a negative hole there. All right, so let's see what it's like running this plugger. All right, so what I'm going to do. All right, so let's see what it's like running this plugger. I'm going to find a part in the grass that is, you know, zoysia. I'll go ahead and just step up on it, give it a little jerk. Sorry about that. And pull it out. Now, what I like to do is do this, you know, right after it's rained. That way I get a nice clean plug out of it. I'm going to go ahead and try this again without all the shaking going on. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, and I give it a little twist and pull out the plug. I'm just gonna I position these, you know, pretty close to each other because I found that if I do, it's easier for me to come back and just fill in the holes nicely. Alright, so I've got 15 holes here now. So what I'm going to do is walk over to a part of the yard that I don't have any plugs going on now. I can see right here I have an older plug in, but you can see it's kind of hard to see. Here's an older plug that I put in some time ago also here, and there's a few there. So this may be a good area for me to put these plugs. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the plugger, turn it upside down, and release them. Alright, now that I have my plugs out, I'm going to count them. I've got 15 there. I'm going to make 15 holes real quick. So same thing. And I'm going to pick out parts of the lawn that I don't see any grass growing, little dead zones. Get maximum value out of this. I found that if I keep them close, it's better for me to keep track of where I actually put them later as they grow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, get one more in here somewhere. Let's just put him right there. Alright, so now that I have those 12 plugs holes done, I'll just go ahead and drop these guys in here, a few at a time. Okay, and just gently press them in with my foot. Because the soil's a little wet, they kind of go in pretty easily. Okay, and let's just do these last few here. Okay, so I've got 3 plugs left over. Let me do 3 more holes real quick. 1, 2, and the short one. I'm just going to go down a little bit. Okay, so I'll take my short one here, put that in that hole that way, and just slap these other 2 in. Just press them down gently. So what I like to do now is just going to park this here right now. What I like to do is give them a little soak here with some water just to wet them in. Even though the soil's wet, I found that you know, anytime you do grass planting, you want to get you know, a little bit of moisture in the hole just to help ensure things. Probably don't really need it, but got the hose right here, so we'll do it. And I'll go ahead and step them down too. Okay. Alright, so now that I have those plugs put in, the holes that I made are creating little negatives of dirt. So that's filled up the plugger here. Now I've got to go put those holes in an area that, you know, where I've taken the negatives out of. So let me just little more quickly, less competition. Okay, so just like I did before, we're going to tamp those in. Now these I don't necessarily water back in. Sometimes I do. Okay. All right, and so with that, that's how we do it. So you can see after I'm done, there's kind of like the you know, the negative plugs here that we had, and then I have the good plugs over here. You know, and I've been doing this for some time, and you can see in the lawn that there are spots that have a thicker zoysia development, and then other areas that have your fescue. So just to give you an example of the difference in height, you can see there, fescue versus mostly zoysia here, but you know, some fescue still in there. So how long has it taken? It's taken me about 5 years to get to this point. Not very aggressively doing it, just sort of part-time as I have time. Okay, all right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully this will help somebody get an understanding or idea of how transplanting zoysia plugs with this ProPlugger works to help propagate zoysia through your lawn.